Your customers are craving a great tasting, authentic pizza experience. That's why we offer Primo Molino Neapolitan style flour, an affordable, high performing flour that's a great alternative to imported Italian 00 flour. It's milled right here in North America, so you can always count on authentic crust texture and taste without the imported flour price. Using an imported flour today? Check out ardentmills.com to request a sample and try it for yourself.
Welcome back to Checking In With. I am Executive Editor Denise Greer, and I'm here with Editor-in-Chief Jeremy White. Hello, Jeremy.
Hey-o, what's up?
Oh, what's up? It's a cloudy, rainy morning, but we have a great guest on the show today. We have Brittany Saxton. She is owner-operator at 600 Downtown in Bellefontaine, Ohio. Hello, Brittany. How are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm great.
Okay.
Well, Brittany's
thanks for having me
bringing
on,
the
guys.
sunshine, Denise. It may be a dreary, overcast, crappy fall day, but Brittany's bringing the sunshine this morning. All right, look at that smile. She's ready to rock.
So Brittany, why don't you fill us in? What's happening right now at your restaurant and there locally where you're at in Ohio?
Right now, we're part of a rural community, so our cases here are on the rise a little bit, but we don't have a lot of restrictions. We do have the masks in place. We're at 50% capacity as far as dining goes, and we're still doing a steady carry-out business. The biggest restriction we have facing our restaurants right now in Ohio is the 10 p.m. restriction on alcohol sales. So a lot of my fellow restaurants here in the state, after 10 o'clock, they're losing a couple $1,000s in revenue. And that's really where our tie-up here is that alcohol restriction. Our dining, we're not at 100%, but we definitely are blessed to be where we're at. I went from 135 to 90, but in using our event space that we'd added in 2018, we recovered 40 of those seats right away as far as what we were able to seat inside the dine-in. So right now we're running 40-60 as far as dine-in carry-out goes, 60% dine-in and 40% carry-out. Actually, we're very blessed to be in where we're at in our community because we haven't seen the scary downside of COVID here. We've been very blessed with the solid carry-out business, and then when the dine-in opened up, that filled right back up as well. It makes me a little scary to see that we're destination traffic. Most people come from at least 2 hours away to visit us, and so keeping COVID low here scares me when those people are coming from outside communities as well. But we're rocking and rolling here pretty strong, and I can't be more than blessed to say that. So it's been great.
Yeah,
scary, but great.
You said that 10 p.m. alcohol sales. What were your alcohol sales before? Like what percentage of your total sales were your alcohol sales and kind of what are they right now?
Before COVID, we were sitting about 30% alcohol sales. We are blessed in a different direction with our alcohol sales though, and we are allowed to do 3 carry-out drinks from our bar as well per customer as long as they're in sealed containers. So we do that as well, and we haven't seen that significant drop because we close at 10 o'clock. So our business isn't actually affected by that 10 p.m. curfew because we're already done. But that's one of the bigger struggles for our restaurants here is that 10 p.m. struggle.
I gotcha. What's kind of helped you as far as to maintain or even increase your sales during this time? Is it your strength that you already had in carry out and delivery, or have you guys really upped your game?
I will say that before COVID, we were already 20% carry out. So people were already accustomed to doing that. They knew it was a possibility. It wasn't a change of pace for them, really. It was just they call or they order online. They come and get it just like they always did. We did implement the curbside delivery for people for if they didn't feel comfortable coming inside. And we just tried to make the guest as comfortable as possible through that whole entire transition. And we were very transparent, like, this is what we're doing for you through this process. We have gloves, we have masks, we're sanitizing. We can do contactless and put it in your trunk if you prefer. And we just put that all out on our Google page and our Facebook page right off the rip. That way people knew exactly what they were coming for, exactly how we were going to handle it and how we were going to keep them safe along with us. And it seemed to help. Everybody was very appreciative of that. Even when we opened back up at the dining room, we were getting many comments about how well we were taking care of everything. So it was nice to see our team kind of step up to that challenge, and we just kept on going with it.
Brittany, you mentioned you're in a rural area in Ohio. We
Mm-hmm.
kind of have a third wave of COVID sweeping across the nation right now. Where I live in southern Indiana, not rural but semi-rural, and there are certainly rural areas around us. We're at about 15.7% infection rate right now. The numbers are really high once again. Things
Mm-hmm.
were really bad on the coast a few months ago, and it seems that now the virus is migrating inwards to these rural areas and getting carried to areas like mine and like yours. Is there any
Mm-hmm.
sense that, any sense of impending doom in your area? Or people, you just said that the infection rate hasn't been that bad in your area yet. Does your health department put out information that leads you to believe that that's going to stay that way? Or is there any sense that, oh no, things are about to hit our area and we need to brace for it? Just what's the general feeling right now? And again, we also are heading into cold and flu season, which really complicates things. What's just the general feeling right now with what may be coming this winter?
Right now, I think we're all a little bit on eggshells because we are seeing that. Our health department's very transparent as well, and they send out daily updates and daily case counts and things like that. And we are seeing that increase. We're, I think, bracing and considering what might happen if we would have to shut down our dine-in again, elevating how we're handling to-goes and making sure whatever kinks we had in our system beforehand, we've already got those established and taken care of now before that happens again. I think my biggest concern for the second wave or a shutdown is staff stability. Most of these people inside our industry, if we shut down again, we're going to lose a lot of great employees. They're not going to come back to industry, and that's my concern. They need to be able to pay their bills. They need steady paychecks, and they can't be committed to this shutting down every couple months. So really looking at how we're going to retain the best of the best. Can we find homes for them if we do have to go to carry out only again with our front of the house staff? That way we don't really risk losing them completely. And anybody, it really sucks when you have to lay off 35 people and say, sorry. So we're really looking at our roster this time and like, what changes can we make? Who can we keep on? What tributes can they have from the front of the house perspective and helping us so we can keep them on board? Because the reopening on the second wave is what scares me more than actually facing the second wave. Our community really rallied around small business the first time, and I have hope that they would do that again as far as it goes with doing carry out only. Bigger concern is the restaffing process and who we would lose potentially.
Yeah.
Well said. The holiday season is upon us with Halloween coming. Traditionally, Halloween is one of the busiest sales days of the year for pizzerias, and then you have the day before Thanksgiving when everyone's tying up their oven space and don't want to cook. You have New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. You have a lot of really big industry days coming up. The good news is most of those days that are so important to the industry are carry out and delivery days. They're not really dining days. With that being said, do you feel like this holiday season will still be as robust as usual, or are you worried that there's going to be a little bit of a downslide?
I think we're going to see a downslide. I think especially if we see communities shutting down a little bit more and restrictions and cases going up, people are just not going to be safe or feel great about going out in general. I do think that this year will be a little less, but what we've done is we already ramped up our gift card game for the season. Like, we're really pushing our gift card sales and trying to just keep that revenue coming for future purchases. We definitely don't plan on going anywhere, so that gift card will be valuable for when they are comfortable with coming back out. So that's really where we're pushing a lot of our recovery hopes for holiday season, is that gift card sales.
Yeah,
It sounds like you're being very proactive, that you're taking advanced measures and looking to the next few months and thinking, let's hope this doesn't get worse, but if it does, we have a plan in place.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to go into second round with a definite plan, because the first one, we weren't prepared for that, and we just kind of rode that wave. But I feel like if we know what might be coming the second round, we might as well make up that contingency plan now and just have it in place for when it does happen, so it's not so shocking to everybody.
Excellent.
Yeah, and even before, in the before times of COVID, you know, you had really made a lot of updates to your location. That awesome sign we were talking about before we came in, the neon sign behind you, you know, and adding your party space. I think that really kind of really helped you get ready for this without even knowing that this was coming, correct?
I say we also added a patio within the first year of me taking over ownership, so that's been a blessing right now too. We put some heaters out there, so during waiting time where we can't have people standing and waiting inside, they're able to drink around the heaters outside at individual tables. So they're still they're separated as far as social distancing goes, but it keeps them close to house, and we're not bouncing as many people that way.
Yeah, now let's talk about that a little bit. You went from being one of the best pizza makers in the world, by the way, 5-time champion, correct?
Right.
To now you are an owner and operator, and you've transitioned from pizzeria maker to pizzeria owner. Tell us about that transition a little bit, and especially you did it a little bit before this all struck.
Yeah, so the first 3 years of my ownership, I didn't compete anymore, but one of the things that I did do was I got my team to compete. I really rallied behind my troops and sent my boys to compete. So I have Nate who does acrobatics, we have Landon who does fastest, we have a baker, and so I really gave them that spotlight because that's what kept me so involved in the industry, is those opportunities that Michael gave me, and they were always so important to me. So I wanted to keep that passion alive for many more of our team members. And so that's where we focused the last 3 years, is training and sending others to do that and experience that. So it's been a really good time. And then we also just focused on growth the last 4 years. We knew that when we took over this operation, we were already at our max, but we wanted more. So we were able to add that patio and the event center and updates to the bar and wine lists and things like that. And that's really where the last 4 years my focus has been. Coming out of COVID, though, we're kind of looking at the idea of, do we open at that secondary location that focuses primarily on delivery and carry out? Because we never added delivery during COVID here, but we honestly couldn't handle the volume here either. Our operation is doing what it's doing on 4 Marsol ovens, and that's it. Like, we don't have any other ways of doing more than what we already are. So we're looking at an expansion of sorts to be able to incorporate a little bit more. But it also gives us that commissary kitchen that we don't really have here. We're running out of dough space. We can't keep up.
Yeah, that's kind of a good problem to have, right?
Yeah, it's wonderful.
It sounds like you've got a lot of big strategies coming into 2021. You know, my question for you were talking about your employees, that kitchen crew. You know, you've built, you know, these strong pizza makers in your kitchen. You know, how has that been during COVID, and how are you going to work on retaining those guys and gals going into 2021?
Most of my competitors in my strong kitchen, they're all part of my upper management team already. So even through COVID, they're my prime source to take care of. I always keep my management team, they're my first priority, and then we go on to the second tier of just regular employees, and I'm making sure they're taken care of. Still encouraging Nate to be practicing tossing. We still make dough here for him to do so. With Dalton, still creating new pizzas and getting them just involved, and we've been really busy, so speed isn't been an issue for us to practice here. We're just trying to get them in as fast as we can at this point.
Gotcha. You know, you've been able to thrive through such a hard time. What kind of advice do you have for other operators maybe that are struggling a little bit, or, you know, looking to others that are succeeding for some advice?
Fluid. Don't get stuck in old habits, old ways. This world is new and different, and you just have to be able to roll with it. Don't get stuck in a certain pattern, because it's not going to be around forever. What we're doing now is not going to stick around forever. Be innovative. How can you engage with your audience a little bit more? At the beginning of this, we did pizza kits, where we gave them all the ingredients to make their pizzas at home with their kids and have that experience at home that they couldn't have here. So how can you stay engaged and stay in the home with experiences within your restaurant is kind of where we focused our life throughout this whole process. Is we just wanted people to still remember we were here. still remember that we're here to feed them, be there for them, and kind of be just part of this community. And so that's kind of my biggest advice now is be fluid, be open, and stay active.
Gotcha.
Excellent advice. It's, fatigue is setting in, pandemic fatigue. People they understand that the virus is still here, that social distancing is necessary, that measures are necessary. They get it, but they're just tired of dealing with it. They're just over it. But, no matter how down about it you get, how upset about it you get, how over it you are, that doesn't change the fact that the pandemic is still ongoing. And the fatigue is so real that I think your advice is great, because you have to just battle it. You just have to be innovative and just go to work and put your head down and figure it out until it does go away. And we don't know when that magical moment's going to be, right? It's not anytime soon, I don't think. So no matter how fatigued people in the industry are getting, you've got to put your head down and you've got to grind through it, because that's the only way. So I'm so glad that you had such good advice there.
Thank you.
Denise, do you have anything else for Brittany before we let her
Man,
go?
I say let her go. She already gave tremendous advice with that. I think that is the best advice that we can go out on. Brittany, is there anything else you wanted to add for all of our pizza crew that's going to see this video?
No, guys, thinking about you, miss you all.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you at Expo, and when we can all come together again. That's what we've been waiting for, right?
Right.
Brittany,
you guys have a
watching
great
you
day.
over the years. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say thank you. So go ahead.
Thank you. I was going to say, watching you compete over the years has been a lot of fun. And now watching you grow a business is going to be fun. So do what you do, kick butt, take names. And we miss you too. And we'll see you in person soon.
All
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
All right.
You too.
Thank you
See
so
you.
much.
Thanks.
See ya.